Today, we're going to set up our sketch paper for our illuminated letter print. We're going to go ahead and grab a sheet of paper from our sketch pad. This paper is exactly the same size as our foam plate, so it is the perfect paper to work on our sketch. Now, to get this page set up, we're going to reference the Illuminated letter page setup. Now, this shows us what our borders need to be. I'm going to create 2 borders for this project. One border is going to be left empty, and the second border is going to include our design. Each of these borders is spaced 1 inch from one another. So the first border is 1 inch from the edge of the paper, and the second border is 1 inch from the first border. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my paper and my ruler, and I'm going to measure 1 inch from all sides, and I'm going to measure multiple times. Because this is our sketch, it doesn't have to be light. You don't have to worry about that. I'm going to line up my markings, and because this is an exact 9 by 12 sheet of paper, I'm also going to make sure that my 12 inch is lined up at the edge of my paper and my 0 inch is lined up at the other side of the paper. That way I know for sure I have a perfectly straight line. I would continue to go all the way around doing all 4 sides. Now that my first 1 inch border is complete, I'm going to go ahead and measure from that first border 1 inch again, marking in multiple places to ensure I have a straight line, and I will connect those to give me my first line for my second set of borders. I'm going to go ahead and do the other 3 before I begin with my letter. Now that my second border is complete, I'm going to go in and just erase where the corners overlap so that it does not distract me while I am drawing my design. And I don't want to include it in my design either. So I'm going to go all the way around and erase those corners where it extended beyond and crosses into the border. Once that's complete, it's time to start sketching my letter. Once your paper and borders are set up, it's time to start sketching your letter. Now, we provided many examples of letters that would be common in an illuminated script. The uncial is a very popular medieval type of script, but you can choose which one you like best to do your illuminated letter from. So here are just some of the examples, many to choose from, and you can decide what letter you like best based on what letter you're using. I'm going to go ahead and do the letter D for my first name. Now, I selected this letter, which I liked best. I went ahead and printed it out. You can easily sketch it freehand, print it out, or trace it on your iPad. Because it's the iPad I'm recording on, I'm going to go ahead and trace my letter. Now, when I create my letter, there's one thing I need to look for. I want my letter to enter into the first border, the most interior border, but not to cross over into the exterior border. So I want a little bit of overlap, and I want my letter D to kind of stretch out and cross over that border because it's going to become part of our overall design. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my letter, making sure it expands into that border. but not into the exterior border. So that's the exterior of my letter, and now the interior, making sure I create a nice, smooth, closed letter. You can go in and tweak and make changes if you need to. Just kind of edit that edge a little bit, but that is ready to go. I will then go ahead and erase where my letter intersects with that interior border, because again, I don't want to accidentally include those lines in my design. I want it to be as if my letter D is sitting on top of that interior border, but again, not crossing over the exterior border. And now I'm ready to begin adding my details to my illuminated script design.